welcome back to the Circuit Revival, where we have another MacBook Air A1466 here on the desk. So this one, once again, just says not working. It's in a slightly worse state than the other one we've got. It's a bit grubby, so I'll be interested to see what's going on with this. But I know it's not always best practice, but we'll see what it does when we plug it in to start off with. Okay, so I've got a USB-C MagSafe adapter here. So if we plug it in, we'll see if we get any lights. So absolutely nothing there. Okay, that's doing nothing. Just check the actual charging area itself, in case it's not making a good connection, because it is a bit grubby in here. Okay, let's try to plug it in again. Nope, absolutely nothing. No light or anything. Okay, let's get into the bottom of this and see if we can spot why. I'm enjoying that sound. Whoa, okay. Jesus, this looks like it has drank something. Look at that. That looks like tea or coffee. Jesus. Okay, it's also missing some screws. So someone's been in this before. So I imagine what's happened is they've come in, seen it's a mess, and then just tried to sell it on. Because look at that. That is something. Okay, well, I mean, to a degree, this is basically a write-off, really, isn't it? But we'll have some fun with it either way. Get this battery unplugged to begin with. Oh, it's just so crunchy everywhere. Hard to tell though, like this might be alright. A lot of the Apple stuff's got like underfill on things, so it's so they're a bit more protected, I suppose, but I'd be surprised if this thing comes back to life. Yeah, it's gonna need a good old clean, but it's not nearly as bad as I was expecting it to be, if I'm being honest. So I suppose we'll just rip the band-aid off on this one and we'll have a look under the microscope. Jesus, look at that. Something tells me this is probably done for. Let's grab our meter and see whether we have any immediate shorts. I wouldn't be surprised if they're all over. Okay, I can't find any shorts or anything, so I think this thing is just absolutely disgusting. So I think what we'll do is we'll start off with just cleaning it and seeing if it makes any difference. It's just so much junk on this board. Okay, so we've cleaned this up as best as we possibly can, really, with what we've got. I don't think it's going to do a lot, but it does look a lot better. So I think what we'll do is we'll try to get it back in the chassis and see if we end up with anything different. Okay, we'll put the main board off to the side. We'll take a look just at this for a second, because this looks equally as bad. Actually, somehow looks 10 times worse under there. So we'll go here and here. And we'll try to give this a clean up as well, because this is actually where the MagSafe port is. So this is where the power comes in. So there's a chance that if there's anything not great in this area, it might just refuse to charge altogether because there might be a fuse or something blown. That's probably the next thing to check once we get this back in is are there any fuses anywhere? What is this stuff? Oh, this stuff is meant to be there. Looks like it is. Okay, well, we've got that meant to be here. Is it anything? Okay, let's have a quick look around, see if there's like fuses or anything in this area. I don't think that looks like a fuse at this point, so yeah, we'll just try to get it together and see what it looks like. Clean up the memory here. There's a lot of underfill on this, so I think this might actually be okay, because I don't imagine much could get underneath it. Okay, this flex cable's got a bit of corrosion on it, so we'll just pull this under the microscope. Oh, I say a bit, a lot. Okay, here's that flex cable. We'll just see if we can give that a bit of a clean up. That could be a lot of our problems. I think this flex cable might actually be what transfers the power over into the main board. Could be wrong, but just looking at its positioning on the board, that's sort of where it looks like it is. So it might even be worth possibly trying to get a replacement of these. Let's see if that helps. Okay, I'm going to be completely honest, I'm not expecting anything different to happen here, but we'll see. We'll open this up, we'll plug our charger in. Still no light there. I'll try the other side, just in case. Still exactly the same. See if anything happens if we do it with the battery unplugged. Nope, nothing at all. Still absolutely no difference. We can try probe the battery and see whether we are actually getting any voltage into it though. We plug this back in. And then while still on volt, it's just turned on. Can't get in. It's working. Now I can't be certain how long that's going to work for, but that is working. Let's see, keyboard's working. Can I click? Okay, click is working. Doesn't look like it's charging though. But how did that turn on if that's not charging? Can't tell if that's charging. Apple logo again. So it's always annoying with these things if the owner of this doesn't have it to show whether it's charging in the top corner. If I shut this, does the voltage go? Does the amps go up? Okay, wow, those heat sinks really get hot. Damn. Okay, I think I'm just going to chuck the thermal camera on this and see what's going on. Because I'm not getting a charge, but it's obviously getting power in. But I don't know if that's just because the battery's completely dead, so that it doesn't want to charge. But I'll plug the thermal camera in. And so there's the heat sink. Like I said, they get hot. And then come round. It's all cool over here, but yeah, damn, that area does get warm. Just need to work out why that's not charging then. Because I would expect to see that amp go up, but it still seems to just be sat where it was. So let's go volts DC around the battery connector here and see whether it is in any way going up. If we go between here and here, no, nope, 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 no, nothing there. I just don't know which ones are like positive and negative there. Okay, I've got a light. It's gone to a red light. It's charging. Okay. So I think that's just sort of indicating a completely dead battery. So I think I'm just gonna leave this for a bit, and I'll jump back in a little bit once that's had a bit of time to charge up and see what this is doing. So I'll pause the video here and I'll see you in a second. Okay, so I've left this for a bit. I've popped off the shops and come back, and hopefully we can see here it's gone up to 3 amps. So I think it's just because the battery was so low. It just didn't want to charge it too quickly, but this is filling up now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this back together and see if we can reset it and have it work. because I've just noticed that obviously I didn't see the Wi-Fi symbol at the top of the screen there. Now I don't know whether you're supposed to see that or whether it doesn't show there, but we'll get this back together and we'll give it a test. Okay, so we're all up and running. Let's see whether we can get this to like go into recovery mode or something so that we can reset it. We've got our green light to our red light. We've got a standard amp draw there. Up to 1 amp. Here's the bong. Okay, so I've got through to the erase max section here. So we'll see whether we can connect to the internet. I think it needs the internet to erase. Okay, so it's just turned off and on. Hopefully this should load back into recovery mode again, I'd imagine, so then we can reinstall the OS. And that's just loaded to a missing operating system. I just need to work out how we can get the operating system on this. Okay, so I've just loaded back into recovery mode again. I think that was what it was missing, so I'm just going to log into the internet. So it's starting internet recovery. Okay, so we're just reloaded up with the Apple symbol. I wonder what operating system this will load into. Okay, reinstall OS. What's it going to be? El Capitan. Wow, this is an old laptop. Okay, try again. Looks like it'll work. Okay, I'll see you at the back end and hopefully this installs. Okay, so I think we've already hit an issue. That SSD is clearly kaput because it's not showing here. But either way, it's working, just the SSD's done for. So I think we call this one a fix. Just need a new SSD for it to work. So that makes that 11 to 4. And thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.